Here's another either or for you. Alrighty. Another day, another dollar. We'll start with that one. So we'll start with today. Blessings and blessings and blessings. So always want to give a shout out to our sponsors. We'll start with Connect Grills, Connect Global. If you're looking to move your freight in the United States, you can reach out to my guy, DG Lawal, is the CEO of Connect Global. And also, if you're in Indy and you have like a backyard celebration where you need asun, you need suya, you need your oxtail, you need your turkey, or any, mede like that, reach out to him. He can connect you up with that. Connect Grills, you get it? All right. So also, if you're in Indy and you're looking for a realtor, you're looking to buy a house, you're looking to relocate, even if you're selling, you're renting, whichever way you're trying to do, buy a property, sell a property. Cowrie Groups, my guy, Derek Hayade is your contacts. You can get him on the numbers that would be listed here. So reach out to him. He'll get you connected anywhere in Indiana. Now let's transition to Texas, baby. So with Texas, we have Connorsfield. We have my guy Sonny Afalabi in Texas. He's in Dallas area. Reach out to him and he'll be able to connect you up with selling a property and also buying a property. And if you're looking for a career change, you're like, I'm tired of what I do. I just want to learn something new, If you're trying to be in person or you're just trying to buy the course online, we have that availability for you. You're looking for our wage services. If you're looking to be a database administrator, you want to go for our wage services. You can get their courses on Udemy. Just buy it. You learn by yourself. You try to put it together. Or if you want to join the class, dial that number or text them on WhatsApp or whatever you can connect with. Instagram too. You'll be able to get in contact with them. I come in peace today. Today might be a little bit funny and interesting, but hey, guys, don't come for me. So today we'll be talking about mental health. Now, it's so broad. Mental health is so broad. So I would say, just as we men, what does mental health, or how does mental health impact men in its entirety? So with mental health, we could talk about it being as a husband. We could talk about mental health being as the job. We could talk about mental health on social media. We could talk about mental health in different capacity. But for today's session, we'll bring you other sessions with other things coming into it. But for today, we'll talk about it as us just being men. So my co-host for today, I'm bringing him back. The CEO of Await Services, my one and only dear friend, Adeniji. Give it up, guys.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here again. So let's talk about mental health, as it relates to men. So we're gonna have fun.
Yeah, we are gonna have fun with this. This is gonna go deep a little bit too, because we'll be going back like to the 70s, and well, we're not that old, but anyways, we're going back to the 70s. We're going back to the 60s and the 40s. The impact of our parents too in who we are today, as men, the impact of the society we grew up in and where we are today and what we can tell the people coming up. I hate to always say Gen Z, so people use that term a lot. I don't care, but I just feel like we're all humans. Yeah, in your own era, that's up to you. Because man, I feel like I'm a millennial, right? That's what we call ourselves. But then I feel like the baby boomers, sometimes I can relate with the baby boomers, even though I'm a millennial, so to each his own. And also Gen Alpha, I heard Gen Alpha is coming up too.
Yeah, our kids are Gen Alpha.
Yeah, they grow up real fast too. And the way they are growing up, I think it's different from the way we were raised. But either ways, we'll talk about that too. Mental health impacts to those kids or from those kids, because kids can drive you crazy too, right?
Definitely.
How you handle those. So before we go further, I like to ask a proverb, an idiom, or quote. You got to bring one to the table. So What's your idiom, quote, or proverb today?
I would say a problem shared
It's a problem solved.
is half solved.
Have solved. Why are you not doing what's my guy's name? Bella Smoda. Why you know say it completely?
A problem shared
shares
is
the
problem solved.
problem
Even
solved.
sharing it may not completely solve it, but at least you are able to get it out of your chest, so you feel a little better.
So
But
you,
the problem is still there, though.
that's why
Let me make a joke.
Okay.
There was someone who said if you're going through anything, if you have any problem, post it on your WhatsApp status, and after 24 hours, it will disappear.
that is dumb.
You will see the problem.
You will see it again, right? Because you've literally typed it out. But do you think bruh, I think know people to share your problems with.
Yeah, of course, you have to be selective too. You can't possibly share your problems with everyone because it may actually get worse.
If you share your problem with Yoruba is a name for them, but like people that can't keep their mouth shut.
Hello, Fufu.
Alaruka.
Oh, is that Laroka?
Both
Yeah.
of them. Oof.
Yeah.
Your problem is not going to solve, it's going to compound. So I think that, I'm taking back. I'm the kind of guy that like the whole point of this either or is also to you see my short skits or whatever is take idioms, take proverbs, take quotes and debunk them, right? If it's debunkable, I will. If it's not, I'll just let it be. Not saying they're not true, but there's an other side to it. There's the or side of it, either or side of it, right? So that's it. So I agree with you to a certain extent, but I think you should watch who
Sure.
you share that information with.
That is so
right?
true, yeah.
So it's very important we do that. So thank you very much for that, man. You're getting used to this. I like that. So mental health as men. What do you think mental health is? Do you think mental health exists?
Definitely, 100%. It does exist. I mean, is a state of your mind.
Okay.
That's what I think mental health is. The state of your mind. And
I think there's more to that. State of your mind is one, then health part. The mental is the state of your mind. The health part is
it's the health of your mental,
Okay.
the state of your mind. That's what it is.
okay. All right. Let's
If your mental status is healthy or not, that's what mental health is. And it's
Okay.
the state of that
mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with
I
that.
think it's real because I mean everyone's got brain, we've got minds, and
I think it's just abused. I'm
It
sorry.
may- it
For
may
me,
have-
I feel like people just abuse the word mental health. I'm almost at the verge of saying it doesn't exist, but then it's science is science, biology is biology, right? There is the mental part of any being, and there's the health part of every being. But then I think it's just overused, exaggerated to where it might not even count.
I partially agree with you, but it does exist because everyone's got a mind, of their own, and we have stuff in our minds, right? That we go through, that we see, and the things that make up your mind are the things you see, the things you hear, and
Things you smelt.
maybe the things you smell. Your sense organs, whatever your
Yeah.
sense organs bring in, that's
You
what will
touch.
form your mind. Yeah, so it does exist, but some people may be petty about it.
So you
Overuse it.
agree with me that it's subjective?
No, it's not subjective. It's just some people may abuse it, but it
That's
does exist.
subjective.
It does
Would
exist.
the abuse come from maybe it's relatively new? Like it's always been there. But pandemic created that, I don't know, highlighted that mental side of it. It went from going out to work every day to sitting in the house. I love the family. But at some point I was like, God damn, like when can I have me time? Because we're in the same household.
I know.
We're working, kids are going to school, and it was just mental.
Yeah. I need my own space.
Right. And so that phrase became an in.
So that's where I come in. I don't care what y'all think, but here where I come in is that right there is when we talk about mental health. people begin to dictate by their own definition or their own feeling of what it is. I believe that they have names, right? Depression is a name. Being bipolar is a name. Being stressed is a name. All those deal with your mental state, right? ADHD, whatever it is, they all deal with your mental state. So, do people really like now? If I say, I have a roommate that just plays music, he's messing with my mental health. I think it's a bit. Do you know what I'm trying to say? In my own. So you have to. What is? Oh, my friends, they are buying houses now. I have mental health issues.
Yeah, that's where the abuse comes into play. So people misuse it.
Exactly.
They misuse it.
That's my fear of saying that mental health is subjective.
And I also think there's a spectrum to it.
Okay.
So there's, like let's say 1 to 10 scale. Some mental health issues are very critical. The ones in the high, numbers like 7, 8, 9, 10. Some are just maybe 1, 1.5,
Yeah.
2. So people, the misuse now comes from, let's say, whatever you are going to, for example, now the music is affecting you, you're probably in the 1.5 range. You already say you're making it look like as if you are going to the 8 or 9 scale on the scale. So yeah.
All right, yeah. So I get, but now let's take it this way. Let me take it back. What do you think affects men's mental health the most? As a man, what do you think messes with your mental health the most?
The most, I think it comes from that pressure of meeting the expectation of being a man.
Okay.
The expectation of being a man, and it also depends.
As defined by who?
It also depends the society, of course, the society, and it also depends on the position of the man. For example, the position of a man in the family, not like the husband now.
Immediate,
Let's say amongst your siblings.
Extended family.
That's one amongst your siblings. Now the position of a man as a husband. The position of a man as a father. So it depends. So there's different expectations wherever you find yourself. As the expectation of a father in the family is that you provide, you take care of the wife, the kids, and all those things. And, as a brother, it's expected that you protect your siblings, especially the female ones, and
even your parent.
So there's that expectation, and if you are in a position where you are not able to do that, you might feel some discomfort. You might feel bad, which may lead to what eventually may lead to others depression and all that. Yeah, I think that's where it comes from. Anything that doesn't make you feel good about yourself, about you being able to fulfill what you think your purpose is, can result into
mental
health issues.
How about a black man in the American society,
race too? Yeah,
in the corporate world, and I will even take it a step further. As a foreigner, a black foreigner in a foreign land.
So,
and the aspect of politics that you deal with in the corporate world.
Call me ignorant, but I have a different perspective about that piece.
Okay.
And some call me ignorant. I really do not. I don't think there's any race greater than me.
Okay.
When I live every life, I'm superior.
Okay.
I'm the best of me, and no race can dictate to me where I am, where I'll be. Not denying that it exists. But my mental state is telling me there's nothing stopping me. I don't see it because I do not care. I will rise above it. Right. So I, as a person, live beyond that notion. Like I said, I won't deny that it exists. I'll be very, very ignorant to say that color is not a factor in so many things in this world. But I grew up in a majority black society, right? Which means I was raised to be a king. At least I think, in my brain. So you can't put me anywhere and somebody will bring me down. I don't see it that way. I see it as you've challenged me to do better and I'll kick your ass or whatever it is. So I'll fight no matter what. But see, that's one of the things I'm saying is then when you've kept yourself in a cocoon of thinking that I'm limited, you are limited mentally. Then you probably tell yourself you need a mental health break because everything around you seems like it's not going for you. But then when you think about it like, no, this is just another thing, I'm going to fight it. I'm going to kill it.
And that's the aspect I'm highlighting.
Okay.
Right? It's not the I'm better than the other race or the race is putting
Okay.
me down. It's the everyday part that you're dealing with. Right? You have a son. At some point, that son is going to be driving.
Yeah.
Right? Now,
It's going to get pulled over.
right. When the police officer stops you, what comes to your mind? It's a mental aspect. It has nothing to do with I'm better or you're better. How do you protect yourself in the event that you come across? I'm not saying all police officers are like
But,
that.
yeah.
How do you prevent yourself? You're unsafe. You want to live another day.
Sure.
So you have a right. That's where the education part comes in. But you're also thinking, you know what? In this situation, I'll fight it in the courts. Do you see what I'm saying? That's where the mental aspect comes in.
I
Because
think-
you're dealing with that every freaking day. And when you come into the job, to the corporate world, you have to bring your A game
Every single day.
So it's a mental side. That's what I mean.
Every single day.
And I think the major part of that is that it's historical. It's what
Okay.
has been happening. So it's what we came here and then heard, or maybe even before we came here, we already know that okay, it's always challenging for black people to succeed, and the competition is very it's tough and all that. So, but I get your point.
Yeah.
You having a mindset that I can achieve whatever I set my mind to works, but you cannot also eliminate the fact that
They exist.
it does exist.
So-
you have to go through a lot to be able to prove yourself. And
Family mantra. I'll put it out here. And this is why sometimes I believe mental health doesn't exist. Right. Well, not I always say that it doesn't exist, but I don't necessarily mean in its entirety. But like I feel like people just use mental health as an excuse. Right. So my family mantra is I can. Is a giant. The first man on the field. Bring it back to the region. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's my family mantra, right? My dad instilled that in our head. So, which means in anything I do, I believe I can. Do you understand? Until my body or something else tells me otherwise, I believe I can. I run that race until I know that it's not my path. So I do not mentally, like, we're about to get to an aspect of also saying that we'll go back to, let's talk about upbringing, right, a little bit. Then we'll then talk about outlets when it comes to mental health. But let's talk about upbringing because we have come from different places. We have seen different things. And we are in a different world currently, or era, if you want to call it currently. So how would you say your journey in life has brought you this far to where it impacts or does not impact your mental health? So I'm talking about growing up, what your parents taught you, what proverbs or what scripts you don't have to say the proverbs, but like what kept you going, what has shaped the man that you are, how has that affected your mental health?
yeah, I mean, growing up, because of the circumstances, that surrounded my childhood, my dad and my uncles, my aunts, they've always instilled in me that I was going to be great. So, I mean, I faced a lot of
Shit.
challenges in
Sorry,
life.
I'm going to cut you off a little bit. I'm sorry. This is the orthodox, but they look at you as
No, they didn't look at it, but they just looked at it like.
I'm sorry, I had to bring that up.
Kid,
because it's so
could go
traditional.
if a kid could go through all of these and is still alive, then God has a greater purpose for him.
for that child. Yeah,
so that's
okay,
just
gotcha.
not the
Sorry, for people that don't understand that, it means that your, how would we say it? Your destiny.
Yeah, is going fetish
A
in a
prediction,
way. Like
prediction of
visiting
your
a
destiny.
psychic.
I don't know if I believe in that or not
to
because
know
everybody's
if
journey
the
is
kid will
different.
be
But it's a
successful or
theme.
not,
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff
a
like that.
theme. It's a theme. So I just had to ask
Yeah.
maybe. All right, keep going.
So so whenever I face any challenge in life, I always remember that. Oh, they told me I was going to be great, but I had difficult times where I was asking myself, what if these people were wrong? They've always told me I was going to be great, but when is the greatness coming?
Gonna come.
So yeah, but I think because of that, it really helped me having that mindset that okay, this is just it's gonna fade
It's a
away,
phase, yeah.
just a phase. It's gonna fade away, and I'll be successful. So it really helped me in different stages of my life that I have been through. But it was tough nonetheless. It was tough nonetheless. Um, I also think culture shock too can also affect your mental health.
Okay.
Because I traveled to different places, going to school, and I also lived with different people. And of course, the culture is different. What is obtainable in Nigeria is what is different from what is obtainable in Saudi Arabia, where I lived for over 3 years. And now coming to the US, the culture is also different. So I experienced, a couple shocks living in those
Going
places,
through-
and that
Even
affected
within the US, you know, when you move
that
from state to
affected me.
state, there's still culture shocks.
That
there
affected
too.
me. That in terms of my journey in life, then getting married, life before marriage, life after marriage, completely different. That affected me too.
Yeah, an experience. Man.
Before becoming a father and after becoming a
Life
father.
has used you, man.
So yeah, so in different aspects of your life or different stages, you would experience some
Yeah.
mental health issues.
So, okay. Hey, when you have anything to add before I jump. All right, cool.
Fire.
So, how do you right now? Well, maybe I should give my own background on how I think all those things does, and the next question is, how do you think those affected you? I think that growing up, I was instilled. It was instilled in me the attitude of there's only one path to success, which I know there are multiple now, but it always go read your books, you'll be great. I've said it in an episode, I never had any extracurricular activities. I was, just so you guys know, I didn't first class, but I didn't have any first class in anything, just so you know. But I read book like mad. So my parents were always instilling in me the principle of books. Maybe, to be honest, maybe if they never did, maybe I've been a waste. I don't know, but I think I'm smarter than that, but I don't think I've ever been a waste. But either ways, my point is, I never had the only thing that was instilled in me was greatness. Go read your books, you're going to be great. You do this A, B, C, D, you're going to be great. I had no room for any extras. I had no room for anything else. But then when I grew up, I rebelled. I really did. Sorry, Pops, but I did. I was in the school most of the time. I still studied. Don't get me wrong. If I show you not from Babcock, if I show you my degrees here in the United States, you'll be like, wow, so you knew book like this. I read textbooks, I finished, but I still went to the pubs after school. I had a good time, still, succeeded in all that. But then growing up, we never had the opportunity. So there was only one thing. So as me and myself, my mental health is, you have no worries, go figure it out, move on with life. That's it. I was a one-way street. Now, this has been an issue when it comes to external factors coming in. I don't know how to handle it. Right?
What do you mean by that?
Thank you. So my life is so, as a guy, my life is so one-way street. Even on a regular day, I'm a one-minded man. So when you tell me this is your task, that's my task. When you bring something else, you throw me off my game.
Wow.
In life, if you as a friend or as a partner or whatever it is, you tell me that this is what we want us to do, I'm your guy. If you bring something else, you've messed up everything.
Growth.
In any aspect
So
of
maybe
me.
growth.
Yeah.
So you're leaving your comfort zone.
So leaving my comfort zone is something I would have anticipated before. You don't drop it on me. I don't change.
So you're not spontaneous.
I'm not spontaneous. As my friends, you guys know too, you can't just call me and say, "Nay, let's go out today." I'll tell you no. We need to have discussed it way before now. I'm not your guy. I'm planned because the way I was brought up, everything has to be planned ahead. It's structured. I cannot. While some people are, and to be honest, I think part of the beauty of life is being spontaneous.
Yeah. Because everything
But
in life is not pre-planned.
Yeah, but I miss out on that opportunity. That's why when things hit me, which I know that life will never go in the upward movement, it will always go up and down. So sometimes when life hits me, it's harder for me to handle it because when I checked my trajectory to things, it was meant to going up, but life happened. But then now as a guy, I was told to suck it up, figure it out, move on. That's what I was trained to do. I was not trained to let my emotions handle it. I was trained to reason, pray,
Okay, so
move on.
knowing what you know now with your experience, how you have a son, what would you
Yeah,
do differently?
a lot.
Or what would you add? And then this is not taking anything away from our parents.
Yeah.
Because we have to understand that our parents, they knew how to raise us the best way they could in that situation.
Yes.
At that time.
Yes.
It's different from now.
Yes.
There's nothing like social media. If you
Yes.
look at the curriculum of some of the universities now, they're now incorporating social
Technology.
media
Yes.
into it. So things have changed.
Yeah,
I
they're
bring that up because
incorporating
things have
Chat
changed.
GPT, Copilot into it too because they know
There's a
these
lot of
kids are
resources
using all
now.
those things. Yeah. So right now, I think the world is different. I understand how the current world works versus the world working when I was growing up. Right. So for my kid, I'm more open and not that structured with my child because I want to one of the things that I don't think my parents really did was understand me. They groomed me to be who they want me to be. Not
Not what
necessarily
you want
bad.
to be.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Not necessarily bad because I think maybe if they didn't do it that way, maybe I could have turned out differently in some certain aspects of life. I don't know how it's going to play, either or, right? We don't know, right? But I think understanding a child, watching your child grow, throwing so many things at that child.
He highlighted that.
He did in the previous episode. Yeah, he did. Yeah. So watching how throwing so many things at the child, watching what the child picks from it, because the child is not going to get everything, but it might pick one or two from it, right? And then study the child while he's doing that. Throw more of that same thing to that child and see if it bites. If it doesn't, move on to the next thing, right? It's at an early age, which we growing up never had the opportunity. See, the things that are open to that our kids are open to now, we never had that. We used dial phone. When we dialed, we did. In fact, before even we could, I don't even think I didn't have dial phone until maybe I was in primary 2, primary 3. That's when I had the boom ones, right? Nobody understands that anymore. The landline, right? Where it's not. Even landline, the digital one you press is landline. I'm talking about the
old school one.
Yeah,
the old school landline. Yeah.
Your parents will lock it with a
key. There's a key. Yeah, it was exactly dial, and you can beat it. You can beat that security. You understand what I'm talking about? So that was it. So I grew up with that. So how that was defined versus now that my son picks my phone, and even if it's locked, he just goes into the camera and takes a picture of me. It's like Daddy Cheese. He does that. He's 2. He does that now. And me too. I do like this. He takes it. I'm making him. I'm like maybe he's gonna be good at photography. I don't know. I'm just do your thing or videography. Like do your thing, right? So right now I am more open to spontaneity, right? Let me know who you are. Show me who you are so I can help you be better at it. Yeah. That's my mantra right now for my own kids. Versus my parents telling me I would show you the way you follow.
Yeah.
I think I still have a little bit of my parents. My parents are the same way. This and Malo Shigba.
Yeah.
But I think it also goes back to what you said, depends on the child.
The child.
Because some kids, they need that structure.
Definitely.
And some kids, you can give them that leeway. I have 3 kids. My youngest one, Fatima, you have to watch her. She knows how to maneuver herself.
Yeah.
Fuad is more like structured. Fuad get frustrated easily. So a little guidance. Fatima was like, okay, I know. If I'm not getting it here, I know.
I'll get it somewhere else.
You understand what I'm saying? And I tell them, I said, go and sit down there. But you know what? I let her be. Because she's finding and building those skills. Like the social skills. I can't tell you how important it is.
Yeah. In this.
It's not just the work. Relate to
building confidence.
You have to know how to network.
Network.
Yeah.
I have friends that will say, I don't go for job interviews. When I go for job interviews, I'm going to negotiate my salary because they've made connections. And somebody will just call and say, AG, this is opening so and so. Are you interested? I know you are here. Here are the details.
You know, I've heard that. I didn't think it happened in the United States, but I've heard it too. Where I had a boss that he didn't have an interview. They just told him, "Come take this position."
I mean, if you have a good track record, yeah.
Right.
You have the right.
For example,
connections
someone
too.
you've worked with before.
Yes,
No,
recommend
no.
you.
I'm gonna-
They just told him this guy is
This
good
person
at
is
what
the best.
he does.
Is the best for this.
We will need him, and he's available. And they just reach out to him, and it's like, well, I'll work with you on a contract for 12 months. Let's see how that goes. And he named his price.
And part of it is the social skills.
Yeah.
the
That
network,
someone
of
builds
knowing how to
growing
sell
up.
yourself.
Yes, but then when you belittle, so one of the thing, sorry, like I said, but one of the thing my parent did that I didn't like was comparison, and that's something I would never do to my child. Unfortunately, right? They say your best teacher are your parents, right? You learn the good, you learn the bad from them, right? So one of the things I would never do is compare my child to somebody else because my child is my child. He's unique in his own way.
Yeah.
Even two twins might not grow up the same. They won't come
Definitely.
out the same way with the same training. Will not come out the same way, right? So I think we're diverting a little bit to like parenthood.
I know.
So
I know.
so, but you know that's
Mental
fine.
aspect
Let's
entails-
yes, it goes
entails a
deeper.
lot.
That's the thing. It goes
Because mental
deeper.
aspect, you can let's recent thing that happened in the site. The CEO from
United Healthcare.
Health.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for his. It's sad. But what? Sometimes I just sit down and think, what made the gentleman? do what he
Come on.
I know it's deep and it's sensitive at the same time, but what makes somebody go overboard? You know, what makes that person comes back to work, get a gun and shoot?
Mental health in the United States is a different conversation.
What? It's mental health is mental health anyway.
Nah.
See, when you're growing up in Nigeria, you know, you have to be strong. There's some things that's why I say, I'm going back to what you said. In Nigeria, that's education, not just in school. The formal education, informal helped us here. Some of the things that people can't deal with.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
strong enough.
we're built
Yeah,
to-
we're strong
we're
enough
built
to handle
to-
it.
Some more, I
to
have to
withstand
go
a
to
lot of
work.
things.
When I leave work, I have to go to school. And
We
I
have-
worked overnight.
We have nobody to help us. We'll be on the street if you don't help yourself.
But there are things in Nigeria that, living in Nigeria, you don't have to go through compared to living in America.
Yeah.
So I agree with you that mental health in the US is different.
It's different because
As a black
I would
man
say-
living in Nigeria, you don't have to
Thank
deal
you.
with racism.
I would say that
But
the
here
United,
you have to deal with that, whether
imagine
you like it or
somebody
not.
that is
Yeah,
a top
so-
insurance CEO in Nigeria would never get gunned down by a person, just a mere
Exactly.
a commoner. Sorry to say that word. I'm not trying to belittle anyone, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Like people will not just go up and shoot a CEO in Nigeria. It's almost unheard of.
Yeah, we don't even have free access to
We don't
laws
even
in
have
Nigeria
yes,
like they
thank
do
you.
here.
Yeah, but here you expect something like that to happen.
Yeah.
Right? God
America
forbid.
and level.
Exactly. You see what I'm trying to say? So that's why I'm saying that it's different because access, training, culture, all those things are different in different countries. So how people react to things will be different. Like you said, some of the things we've learned growing up has built us to handle some certain situations here.
Yeah.
That typical people here, like sometimes we can walk 12 hours and the people from here will say, you know, I can't do it. I'm tired. My mental health, I need to relax. And we were like, I have cousins, I have mommy, I have daddy back home. I'll take the overtime. Do you know how many overtime? Exactly. Do you know how many overtime I work just I want to make some extra money to send back home, you know, to help out, you know? But then they're like, nah, I'm good. I've done my 8 hours. I'm all right. But no, we're like, nah, man, I need more money. You know? So now let's talk about outlet, right? So given the circumstances that surround you being a man, right? You being a brother, protecting your siblings. You being a son, protecting your parents. You being a father, or you being a husband, protecting your wife. You being a father, protecting your children. And you being you, protecting your own self. right? How do you maintain or how do you overcome mental health issues in your own way? I don't want to let me not say outlet because it's a way, but like just let's be generic. How do you deal with mental health?
I would say building a great support system,
Okay.
and the support system includes God, family, friends, and maybe therapist.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, those
We'll
would make,
get there.
those make not even those would they make a great support system.
We'll get
Because
there, yeah.
if you are protecting all these people, I mean, you need someone to protect you too, right? You need someone to care for you, just like you're caring for people. So you need to be able to talk to God, pray to God, ask God for wisdom and all those things to be able to do
Yeah, for sure.
what you're expected to do. You also need to, whenever you're going through something, you need to be able to, for example, now.
Give us an example of how you
Yeah.
you don't have to
So
give
I
you
was
don't
gonna
have to
say-
state the situation, but how you handled it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm the first child of my parents, and I'm also the only son.
Man, I feel sorry for all these first kids, man. I'm sorry.
I'm also the only
man.
son. I've got two siblings,
Yeah.
sisters. So I'm expected. I was the Olori
Exactly.
to provide.
Exactly.
To provide,
Man, I'm
right?
sorry. Shout out to all the firstborn child of any family, man. Y'all
I'm
are
expected
the
to provide. So
greatest.
when I graduated, I got a job. I was working, and I was making good money, and I was providing for them, sending money back home. And after like in a year, I lost the job. And but of course, they are used to me providing,
Support,
and I'm
yeah.
supposed to be.
Keep going at it.
But it was affecting me because I didn't have money, and I wanted to continue it. So what I did was to now speak out. Wow, around Kongaza. I told them like, okay, I lost my
Siri,
job.
play me
Yeah, I
Giza.
lost my
Okay,
job.
right.
I'm not making as much as I used to. So please don't be mad if I don't send as much as I used to. And immediately after I said that, I felt a lot of relief in my mind. That boy, they took a mountain off my
Off of
head.
you.
Like, whew. Now I don't have to struggle or do too much to impress them or fulfill their requests or their expectation because they already know that okay, whatever he gives us will be fine by us. So that helps. Speaking out helps a lot. It helped me. It still does till now. So I think men should imbibe that culture of speaking out.
Let me bring something. We'll continue, but let me bring a quote that I discovered. Right, the worst thing for a man is not being able to do anything. I'll say it again. The worst thing for a man is not being able to do anything. Right. Give you an example. You cannot help in a situation. You're a man. You cannot help in a situation. Say your kid is sick. You're watching the child just sick, and there's nothing you can do. It's the worst feeling for a man
I agree.
because
You
your
feel useless.
protective
Yeah.
instinct comes in, and you cannot do anything.
You cannot do anything in the sense that,
You can't solve that child's problem.
I mean, taking him to the hospital.
The hospital.
Or you're not the
That's
doctor.
not it. You're not the doctor. You can't fix it.
You know.
You feel like you should be able to take the pain away, but you can't.
Because a man's job is try to solve. We are tuned to, hey, daddy, I need this. I got it. Your wife comes, I need this. I got it. Your mom, your dad comes, I need this. I got it. Right? So not like there's a crisis or there's a situation and you just look, you feel helpless because you're not in a capacity to help or to solve that problem. You know, it's the worst feeling for any man.
How do you overcome that?
God.
Because
God.
you can't solve all the problems.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
You're not God.
knowing that would
You're
help
not
you.
God.
Would help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And talking.
You're not God.
See, when you sit down with people and you talk and you share your experiences, you
Give me a
don't
phone.
know the impact it's doing to that next person. And so that's why it's important to talk.
Yeah.
You know, how many times we don't sit down with boys, and boys will call you a boy, and don't know, say they go through that thing, no.
Exactly.
And once you talk, you find out that what you are going through is actually small compared to what other.
I don't like that. I don't like that because I feel like that is like comparing misery. I really don't like that.
No, but
that stuff.
No, you're
when
not
you put it
comparing
that
misery,
way.
but at least
It's
you will know that,
somebody
number one-
I'm not suffering. No, capacity. Everybody's capacity is different. That's why I don't like that.
But at least you will know that you are not alone. Someone is going
You're never
through
alone.
something related to what
But
you're
some
going
people
through,
don't realize that.
Well,
or even worse,
Get
than
with
what
the
you're
You
going
have to
through.
do it.
Get-
have to have
get
an
with the
answer. You don't
program.
always have to have an answer.
yeah. How'd you get to your website? I want to read
My website.
internet on. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
I'm not using Samsung, but like I want to read the AA Serenity
It's
Pledge,
called
right?
Copilot.
Okay. AA Serenity Pledge, right? I call it anonymous.
Teach me how to,
Bro, I
something.
feel like you
Identify
know,
what I can change, what I can
Yes.
have control over another.
Yeah, exactly. That was where my question was coming from the other time when he was talking about his child.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what seeing your child sick and you can't do
Anything.
Basically, like something that is outside your control. But there could be something you can do in between. You are not a doctor, like you said, but you can take that child to the hospital.
yeah. So
To seek medical
Attention.
attention, you know.
In
But I think
in
where
America,
it's coming
yes.
from-
In Nigeria, if you don't
Except
have money,
if you are financially, your finance, you are not capable.
yeah.
I think how I took what he said was, even after you take that child to the hospital,
still not in
Their
control.
nurses and everything.
You're still not in
right, that's-
control.
Yeah.
Okay,
You don't have
okay.
control.
Still
over
not
that,
in
and
control.
You can't do anything. The doctor is the one. You're not
Yes.
the doctor. You know, I think that's how I took.
Yeah,
your-
that's
okay.
where I was coming from
Okay.
personally. Yeah. So this thing
But
I saw it.
You bring up a good point.
Yeah, this AA and Serenity Pledge or whatever is something I feel like everybody should take. It says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference.
Yep.
So I feel like, bro, if you literally live by this little word sometimes, it might change certain things in your perspective of how life is. Right? I go back to, I'll let you continue, but I had to bring that in because I feel like sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves where we need God to come in. We believe as men we need to solve everything. That increases the mental health issues
yeah.
men face today.
True.
Not just men too.
Yeah, well, I'm only just
think
specifying
you just
because
have
because
I don't know. It's weird for man to complain. or-
yeah, it's because I'm focusing on
You have to have an outlet.
Yes, okay. I'm gonna let you handle that piece in a second. The reason I'm saying is because the focus is just on men today. Is why I'm putting it that way. But then I'll let you talk about the outlet. What do you mean by outlet? Why should a man have an outlet?
It's different for everybody. Find what you're passionate about. I mean, God is first, right? Religion. Have your me time. Look, I love my family. I don't play with my me time. What I mean by me time is I'll still call my boys. I'll say, hey, what's happening today? I feel like going out.
Let's go watch a game or let's just go do something.
I want to go to Dallas. We met up with people in Dallas, friends from Nigeria. They came for a medical conference in DC. They flew to Dallas. We all met, about 20 of us, had a great time. Came back. I
Feel fulfilled.
Wife has her own individual mental me
Space,
time.
yeah.
Hey, I love the kids. I don't want them. For these 2 days, I just want to be by myself. And I think people have to realize that. Have passion about what you do. Is it playing basketball? Is it playing football?
Some people go to the gym when they're stressed, or they clean the house or something
I know
like that.
somebody that he's ran I thought 6 marathons this year. And he puts it on his WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, I'm looking for another. That's his own outlet. He went to Japan
to run.
He's been to Japan, Germany.
Yeah.
I said, oh boy, you know, this is my outlet.
Yeah.
This is what I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I feel good. That moment, you have to find an outlet.
Yeah.
So be it religion, be it hobbies that you do, playing chess, Scrabble, something that you
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that is just you away from your family.
Yeah.
You can do something collectively with your family, or I'm not discouraging that, but that me time, you have to be fine.
Before you can be a great husband or a great
You have
father.
to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell people that too. You first, and
Right.
everybody else.
I'll even take it further. In an environment where there's chaos and work, I still take my break. And you see some people say, we're jumping heads over hills. I understand that. This is my time. And I know you're upset. I need to get away from here, come back strong.
Feel
Yes,
better.
sit down
And
and
sometimes,
work. Like
so
that.
how do I handle it personally? Talk about mine. Is my closet is my personal space, right?
You lock yourself.
I lock myself in my closet, and there
The closet
I
must be big, though.
it's not big, but it's me and nothing else, but just me in that room. Everything else is empty. I can think. I can commune with God, and I can reason. I'm a solution-oriented person. I do not dwell on problems. I do not have time to dwell on a problem. If you tell me something is wrong, I tell you, how do we solve it? That's my next question to you. I don't have time to take it in, absorb. No,
And dwelling on
I
the
don't.
past
I
and-
really do not. The way I'm built is, you tell me, there's no money. Okay, how do we get money? You tell me, I'm sick. How do I get you better? You tell me, my next move is, how do we solve? So I go in there, and the way I can come to that consensus or find a solution is be in me, quiet, nothing else. But just be there and just reason. Silence gives you a lot of room for reasoning within yourself. And if I cannot, this is where sometimes I don't support people. It has to be a very specific type of person to a level that I know that person will understand, not just anybody. That's why the thought of a therapist, which we're going to get into, I don't believe in therapists. I believe in talking to someone I know personally, that I believe that when they hear this, they can give me the best of advice.
Okay, can I
They might
chime
not be
in
able to
there?
solve my problem.
Can I chime in? That person you're talking to, it's an outlet.
It is. I agree.
So the job of the therapist is to kind of
But I don't believe in someone that does not know me. A therapist does not know me.
Okay, they might not.
That's
know
what I'm
you,
getting. Exactly.
but-
I won't open up to you.
Are you a stats person that they'll say, hey, out of 100 people, 50
Yes.
people do this,
Yes.
and because 50 people,
I don't
do
believe
this,
they solve
that-
I don't believe their problems are
Okay.
solved.
But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that person you're talking to, whether you like it or not,
It's an
they
outlet.
don't have
I
that
agree.
title of a therapist.
Yes, I
They
agree.
are your
Therapist.
therapist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I try to. I'm not saying therapy doesn't work. That's not
Oh,
what
no,
I'm
I'm
trying
not
to
saying
say.
that. I'm not
That's
saying
not what
that.
I'm saying. But seeing a therapist, I would never open up to you
Got it.
because I don't know you.
Got it. So it's the
I
knowing
don't
element for
exactly.
you. I have to know you.
I have one person. I tell my wife.
Do you
this.
consider yourself a
I have-
secretive person?
I am very.
That's
my
why.
wife knows that.
That's why.
You're a private person.
I'm very private.
Yeah.
My wife knows that
That's
too.
why. That's why.
You know, even for me, if you tell me something, bro, if you tell me something 50 years from now, it's immediately, bro. That means another person will never hear it.
Right.
That's me. Sometimes I'll be like, tell me, just me. I'm like, the conversation was not for you. You know, but they say, couples share everything. No, I don't.
you make a
if
great
you
FBI
tell me,
agent.
if you tell me something, it's between me and you. That conversation ended there, right? So I will never tell anybody else. So that's the way I feel. So I tell my wife, the only person you can go talk to that can really talk to me that much is my priest, because we have bonded.
Is your what?
My priest,
Okay.
my reverend, because we've bonded over so many things to where I can be vulnerable with him. So no matter how bad things are, he's my guy. I'll go to. But you say, let's go see a therapist. I'll tell you, yeah, but trust me, it's not going to solve our problem. because I don't know that person and I'm not talking to that person. And that person can't solve my problem. Unfortunately, I don't trust you too. So that's when you said therapist. I'm like, yeah. So I'm not saying therapy is not good because me talking to my reverend is a form of therapy.
It's therapeutic.
You understand? So that's what I'm not saying. But a therapist, like that's your
professional
degree.
Therapist.
I'm sorry. Except I know you.
Formal, informal.
But exactly. So that's my outlet. Like I talk to someone I know, then after let go, let God. At that point, what you can't change.
What will be.
What will be at that point. Because guess what? We're not promised tomorrow, but we wake up, right? We wake up and we're grateful. Life is short. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole point of mental. That's how I see mental health in my own space. So I see differently from most people, right? I really, sometimes you have to come correct for me to talk about mental health. If you don't come correct, I don't take you seriously. I'm sorry. Because I've been trained to solve my own problems. Don't just come and say I have an issue. I'll ask you, what have you done to solve it? If you've not done anything, then please go away. You're not ready.
But you should also recognize that everyone is not built like you.
I agree. That's why when you come to me, you come correct.
Like you.
I agree.
Not everyone was raised like you. So
Bruh.
different people,
That man beat that stuff into my head. You know, he made me who I am, and I hope I can make my son just believe that, you know, when you're confident. See, one of the things that make a man is confidence. You train yourself to be confident. You train your kids to be very confident. You know, once you have that, man.
How do you train your kids
to be confident? There's so many ways.
It's a continuous thing.
It is
that you
It's
start from
gradual.
childhood.
Wait, how?
So, for example, when your kid is trying to do something and he or she fails at that thing,
Because this ties to mental.
yeah, he or she fails at
Thank
that
you.
thing, then you keep instilling that you can do it.
Don't
try it
beat them
again.
down.
Don't give up.
Don't
Do it
beat
again.
them down.
Yeah.
You know,
Eventually,
that's something.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's something. That's why I said believe in failure. Right? You know, they beat us down when we failed. That's not encouraging. Believe in failure. Tell your child it's okay to fail. As long as you stand up and do it again.
Our parents abused us a lot.
You know? I don't blame them. I don't blame them because that's how they were brought up.
want you come at law?
Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah. Yeah, Omasun.
Those things affect.
Yeah, while
whether
you
we like it or
sleeping,
not.
they tell you go and read
Those
instead of
words
you to
affect.
sleep. Bro, for you to be mentally ready to absorb any information, you need to have relaxed brain. You need to sleep.
Some
But then they
parents-
tell you you can't sleep because you've not passed.
Yeah. Some parents don't even know
on.
that different people have different times they can assimilate. You are telling the
Oh
kid to
my
go
God.
study during the day, while the best
Do
time for the
better
kid
at night.
is at night.
When everything is calm, quiet.
So these are
You
the
need
issues,
to study
man.
your
It's just-
child.
Yeah.
We're back at that. So it's the way they were raised, the way they tried to raise us, and what we've learned to understand ourselves. Then when we now understand ourselves and what it can be at the position we are, we should be able to transfer that to our kids. Especially learning what era we're in and the things that support the era we're in. Back in the days, can you imagine during JAM, they tell you don't use a calculator. Please, why the heck did they create a calculator?
Well, you have to understand the basics, right? Before you use it.
But they are not
But
giving.
in real life, you use calculator.
You use calculator. Thank you. Teach
The purpose of all
teach
these
me.
things is for you to be able to
Show
show
your
your
work.
Yeah.
Don't give me the answer. How did you arrive at
Thank you, but
I used
you-
to have a math teacher that would give you more points for showing your work,
Yeah.
even if you arrived at the wrong answer.
Yeah, because showing your work means that you understand
You
the
understand
concept.
the sense.
I
You
agree.
understand the
Right.
concept.
I
So you
agree.
may make mistake at the
But
end.
the 1 plus 1,
but at
you
least
carry
you,
the
you
one
understand
over,
the concept.
You
Yeah.
forget about the one you added
But
down.
check it out. Check
I'll
it
still
out.
give you a pass
As you
mark.
are right now,
Uh-huh.
you have a washer and dryer. I was at home. Would you take your clothes? I'm using Omo area just because that's the area I grew up. Will you pour Omo in a bowl and hand wash it
Yes.
when you have a washer and dryer at home?
There's some clothes that I still have.
No.
It depends.
No.
My
Okay,
traditional,
thank you very
like,
much.
some of
No.
my outfits, I
I'm not
don't want
saying
it
it.
to
I'm
mess
not
up.
saying on specificity.
Okay.
Generally, growing up,
Generally, no.
before then, before washer and dryer came, regardless of delicate clothes, You did handwash. That's what I'm talking generally. I know there are some things specifically you need to handle with care. They actually write them on even those clothes. You know that's different. I'm saying generally.
And you can still use the washing machine.
There's an option. There's an option
there.
So thank you. So I'm saying that's different. But I'm saying now, the era we live in now, knowing what you know, would you take all your clothes and hand wash them like you used to?
No, definitely not.
Exactly. So why would you not use a calculator?
No.
When you need,
But you still have to understand the concept now.
That's the whole point of learning.
I think I understand the ideology you mean, or the analogy you're trying to make. The worst part for me is in tertiary institutions back in Nigeria, where you're majoring in computer science, or maybe you went there to take an elective course and you are being asked to code on paper.
Bro.
Do people code on paper in real life?
So let me ask you this: how about the tools are not there?
Bruh.
Tell us to get computers.
Did you wait? But hold on.
You tell us to get computers.
When you were in secondary school, did you have computer lab?
Yeah, we do.
How many times?
Oh, we did then.
How many times did you press computer in your computer lab?
They were covering them.
I knew.
Don't touch it.
I knew about lawn tennis, the rules and regulations, but I never got on the tennis court
To play.
because Mr.
My dad did the same thing.
We'll tell you.
Yeah, we have everything that we have to study the rules and regulations, but I never got on the
To
court.
play.
My dad bought a desktop computer for us.
Covered
to use,
it.
and then he covered it and just destroyed the computer. So why did you buy it?
These are the things.
He
we're
bought me
going
a bicycle.
through. This is what we're
And
talking
then changed the
about.
bicycle.
He said, "No, you
I
can't
couldn't even
ride it. You can't ride it."
So I think the concept for them
That's
then
what
was
we're
that
talking
they
about.
just want you to they want you to know that, okay, I'm your parents. I can afford this. I can buy this for you, so that you don't do kokoro.
I'm gonna be looking for it
I look
outside.
but you're not gonna use
But
it.
guess what? You could have been one of the greatest cyclists there was or there is in Nigeria today. If you are taking a bike, you rode it like an ex-gamer, right? You could have been good at lawn tennis, whatever the terminology is. You could have been good if you already knew the basics. You were ready to practice. You know, Federer might not have anything on you today, right? You get what I'm trying to say? But no, they curbed all those things.
Which is
You know what I'm trying to say? So those are the things that eventually in the future affect us as men. You know, growing up. But thank God some people still haven't gotten off of this shackle right now. But thank God we advanced enough to understand the difference. You know, some people are still stuck in there trying to like make their kids do this
I tell
and
my
that.
daughter stories, and before I open my daddy, I know in Nigeria.
it's and I think parents should also learn to appreciate their kids, their effort, whether they succeed or fail.
That goes a long way.
And show them, express your love. My dad, till I don't know. My dad has never told me like I love you. So there was a day we were on the phone. I was telling him that Dad, man, this of me well love me.
Wait, you
know what is it?
What is this one?
Daddy tell me goes love him go love.
Because it's so funny.
Because he wasn't raised like that.
Oh my God.
And then he had never told me until I think this year that he's proud of me.
Proud of you.
And I made an example to him. I told him that even when I graduated with first class, you came to my convocation, you couldn't even tell me, son, I'm proud of you. I want to graduate with 2-2.
Their parents.
He said because he wasn't raised like that. So to
It
even say it, it's very, very uncomfortable to say those things because
my dad has changed a lot. My dad was like that, but it's changed a lot now.
But me now, every chance I
dad
get, I tell my kids, I love you, I'm proud of you,
Yeah.
Because
but one thing, let's be guided though. One of the things I do not believe in is honorary trophies. I'm sorry, I don't believe in that. I still believe in discipline. We go to a game, every kid gets a trophy. I don't believe in it. I understand it might be to encourage them or whatever. I think the world is bigger than that. You tell your child there's winning and there's losing. It's okay to lose.
Okay, yeah.
Of course.
Do you understand?
I play video games with my son.
Exactly.
Or play games with them, and I make sure I beat
Him, he needs to know. Yes.
very upset.
He needs to know.
More. This is how it is in the
Real
Real
life,
life.
yeah?
I still love you.
Yeah, doesn't
love
mean-
you.
exactly.
But any chance but now
So that's why I'm. He
And
got
I
better.
avoid it.
He
It's
got
like,
better.
Daddy, you want to play? I'm going to beat you.
Nah, I'm good.
So, so,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
encourages
it has
them to be better.
Yeah.
But so
And
I don't
tell my
believe
daughter
in.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Not everybody will like you.
Yeah,
That's
it's
reality.
typical. Yeah,
You know,
so
just
we
believe in
don't
yourself.
need to say because we
just
want to
used to it.
encourage them, appreciate them. Then we
I had a
we
situation, sorry. let me just
go ahead.
continue.
Yeah.
So, I mean, way back in Nigeria, I mean, that was after my youth service. My uncle that I was looking up to, like, this, like, a minute, like my mentor. So, I think we had some arguments, and it was like, because then I was in computer village, hustling, I mean, phones and laptops, and it was like, Afo, I was serving in Hero Contractors. So he sent me a message, but because of my work, I couldn't leave work at that time to go on his errand. And it was like, do you believe Hero was going to, like, they will retain you?
you.
I sent you a message.
You didn't.
You ignored.
Like, they will use you, they will dump you, and you will go back to the streets, and you have nothing.
Wow.
And that was like, this is the person I was looking up to.
Verbal abuse. That's
How did you
verbal
feel
abuse.
after that?
That day, I was, not that day. It took a while, for a very long time, because, like I said, I was looking up to this person, like my role model.
So, there was
So that
resentment.
means I will not,
Make
all
it-
my efforts in this place, we
Just
come
go
to
in
nothing.
vain.
to
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Even though the management, everybody kind of like
Start
you,
looking down on yourself.
You know,
Come on.
I couldn't believe in myself. I was like, so that stuck with me. Then I met another man, not a family member, outsider. I mean, I just sold, and I happened to help him get a laptop, and was like, oh, you're a Christian. Oh, what's your name? This is like, oh, you go to this, I go to this. Oh, was like, I like your spirit, your husband spirit. You will go far.
Yeah.
Take my number. Anytime you need anything, don't hesitate. And if you need to see me, if you call and I don't pick, walk into my office. Like, I'm going to tell my secretary. Like, unless if I'm out of the country, they will let you know. But come in.
Open door.
And that gave me hope. Now, this one, the first person, my family member, this other man was just like outside. So at the point of getting my US visa, so I went to my uncle. Because I believe in my uncle is regardless. Like, uncle, this was like, I can't give you my bank statement to take to the embassy. I was like, why? He said, I can't just do it for personal reason. I was like, okay. I wasn't even thinking about the other man that I met. Then I was just, out of frustration, I was just talking to my friend, like, I've gotten everything, the only thing left is just this bank statement. And the guy was like, have you spoken to Mr. B? I mean, can you just call him? What's case? He'll tell you no. Anyway, you have nothing to lose. Then I called the man. I was like, meet me in my office tomorrow. I got there. It was like, how many bank statements do you need? How much do you actually want in the bank statement? I said, how much? It was like specific. How much is your school fees? I said 9 point something million. Then it was like, okay, go get me some phones and laptop and computer. Before you come back, I will have my secretary get the bank statement ready for you. And I did. He did everything. It was like, yeah, just go.
Wow.
Take it.
Someone you did not know.
And that was the bank statement I took to the embassy, and I was approved my visa.
So, your story, what is family? Who is family?
Family is not blood. Oh.
Because there you
Family
go.
is not blood. Oh.
There you go. It took me a while to realize.
Family is not blood.
You know, family is not blood. I mean, look at the examples you gave.
Family is not blood.
And he may have his own reasons. It's just that.
Doesn't mean blood. Blood can be family. Oh. Blood is
Blood is still
family,
family,
but
but
family is not
yeah.
blood. Okay, so
But
in case we get it that way,
I don't limit it to say family. See, in your lasho, people lashing.
Yeah.
That he messed with my
In your
brain.
last one.
Yes.
Arrow. That means I will not get anything out of arrow contractors. I had it last minute. I mean, in fact, the day they were going to convert, like hire me, when they were looking for me, I was even running away. Wow. They were calling me like for my offer letter. I thought they wanted to send me.
you want to fire? You want to fire?
I didn't even. I was avoiding that call. I was seeing it. I didn't pick until.
Mental aspect.
Verbal abuse.
Yeah, I thought because I've been
Verbal abuse.
conditioned.
Mental, bro.
I've been conditioned.
Yeah.
Until they were like. Then I ran into HR. Was like, "Where have you been? We've been looking for you since morning." I was like, said, "Okay, go to so office. Go pick your offer letter tomorrow. You are resuming in Port Harcourt as HR, whatever. No interview. No assessment. Nothing.
God is
Was
good.
like, go there on Monday before you go to Ikeja Medical Center. Do
your health.
whatever.
God is good, man.
Then your flight has been booked. 10
God is
o'clock.
good.
You fly out of Lagos. Tell all your girlfriends that. Even your parents, tell them they are not.
You are gone.
You are gone.
So yeah. But thanks for sharing that story. We need to wrap up. We really need to wrap up. It's been fun. It's been great just listening to everyone's conversation. So I'll do a quick recap. So really, when we talk about mental health, we all agree that it does exist, and we all agree that there's certain levels to it, right? And we should at some point protect our mental health to where we create certain things for us to be able to manage it. One is our prayers, putting God first. Another one is creating an outlet for yourself. If it's talking to a therapist, if you believe in that, talking to someone, having someone talk to. Another one is knowing the people around you might definitely help you one step ahead, understanding where the people that raised us or the environment we grew up, understanding that generation, understanding our generation, understanding the generation of people coming next to us, right? Understanding that it's beyond family. It's family is people around you too, the people you trust, the people around you, people that you've built bonds with, people you broke bread
impact
with,
your life
the people that have
positively.
impacted your life positively, that do not even know you from anywhere, like Sonny talked about, right? And things like that. So at the end of the day, as men, we can't handle everything. We can't solve every problem. As men, we can't. We're not built that way. We need a release. Crying is also a form of therapy. Let it out. Let it out. As men, they say men don't cry. Men do cry. In fact, the greatest of men actually do cry. If crying is a form of therapy, it's like letting things out. Talking the same way you talk, you let things out. Crying helps you. Yeah.
They say tears.
Yeah.
Tears is the weakness leaving the body.
Exactly. Yeah.
They provide the whole vision provided.
Yes. Before you talk, it's so funny that you think the people around you would not understand when you talk to them. They probably will understand a whole lot more when you just voice out, right?
More
Tell them
importantly,
what the problem
if they
is.
don't understand, you find the person that does.
That does, exactly.
It's not the end of the
Exactly. So I think that's a quick wrap up, but then I'll let Ade, give us to the people watching this and to the next generation coming, like I said, the Gen Z, the Alpha generations, what would you tell them? How should, that piece that to handle their mental, I know I gave a summary, but your last words to handle mental health, go for it.
I think you pretty much said it, but the other thing that I think you forgot to mention is finding what you love and doing it.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I
That
missed
would also,
piece.
in that moment that you're doing it, you will be happy. And that will reduce the mental pressure
Yes.
you have on yourself.
I tell people because I heard this from Warren Buffett.
Do fun stuff.
I heard this from Warren Buffett. It said, at least in a year, do something for yourself. Do something that makes you happy. No matter how bad anything is, at least one thing, do it for yourself to make yourself happy. So, yeah.
Sometimes we focus on people around us that we even forget ourselves. So treat yourself too. Take yourself out on a date,
Do it.
vacation.
Do it.
Buy yourself gifts.
Yes.
Don't just be buying people gifts. Buy yourself gifts. Spoil yourself. Make
yeah.
yourself happy.
It's important.
It's important.
If you're okay, everybody's okay.
Because if anything happens to you, life goes on.
Next of kin.
Life moves on. Man.
I have one short clip that talks about next of. Go watch that skit real quick. Yeah. So thank you very much, Ade, and thank you very much. My brother is here. Wisdom. I tell you guys, thank you so much for also being in this. Thank you to Sodi Afolabi for handling my camera today, and also his advice, his warm story sharing with us. Really do appreciate it. As always, it's been a great session. Majorly sponsored by Last Giddy Chapman. If you want one, go on drinklastgiddy.com. And also, this Either Or podcast is powered by Nelvest LLC. Thank you, everyone. On to the next episode of Tea.